Hi everyone, it's Sunday, August 2nd, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Things were again rather uneventful in the Hide market, although there were some things going on in Europe where this week traditionally starts the month-long vacation period. But that won't be the case for everyone, so let's start with Europe. Editor Andrea Guolo says that the month of August will be more active than usual because some tanneries have had a flurry of orders for samples. So those are the ones that will stay open for the first few weeks to finish up before taking a little bit of time off. Of course, that's not the case for all destinations, and the automotive tanners will be closed the middle 2 weeks of the month. Speaking of closures, HideNet traditionally breaks from publishing in August while the tanneries are closed, but this year's definitely an anomaly. So we'll be publishing a mid-month update on the 14th, and then resume regular publishing with the report dated September 4th. So for the week, prices in Europe overall were stable, and even though some sellers were pushing for more, it wasn't happening. In the European cow market, slaughter is low and prices are unchanged, but remember that warehouses are full for both tanners as well as dealers. With regard to British and Irish ox, once again, the reference price is still 65 cents sterling for the 36 plus British ox. Volume contracts, however, were signed at 60 cents in sterling. In Ireland, the hides are 60 cents in euros for the very same selection. With regard to bulls, automotive demand might be better, but it's not enough to push prices higher. Southern German selections, nonetheless, are a tiny bit firmer. And these hides are selling from 80 cents to 85 cents per kilo, where last week they didn't go over 80 cents. In his analysis this week, Andrea breaks down who'll be working in August and who won't, as well as what the scenario is for mergers and acquisitions in the tannery sector, and that comes on the heels of Chanel absorbing another tannery this week. Here in the United States, prices remained largely steady once again, and a few types earned a little bit more, mostly where automotive demand is concerned. Most sellers said activity was pretty good, although many of them had extremely short offer lists and are definitely turning away lower bids pretty successfully. Regular weight heavy Texas steers were steady again this week, with 62-64 pound selections still selling in a range of $15 to $17 at the high end. Of course, rumors are always circulating about lower price deals on all kinds of selections, but right now, cured hides seem to be rather well sold in general. Total slaughter through yesterday, which was Saturday the 1st, was an estimated 638,000, down just 1% from the previous week. Export sales for the week ending July 23rd were 580,700, and again, that was pretty similar to the previous week. But it was shipments that were really the bright spot this week at 644,800. In fact, it's the best week for 2020 to date, just a little bit ahead of week 3. In our observations this week, we take a look at the factors at play in the current market and some of the underlying reasons for the way things are. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports from Brazil that slaughter is still tight, but slaughterhouses have not been able to push any prices higher, so raw material remains at 48 cents in reals per kilo. Little changed with regard to wet blue, so the best grades are still firm, with TR1 selling for 50 cents per square foot. In fact, the Brazilian market was pretty quiet this week. In other news from Brazil, JBS has invested 19 million reals to prevent COVID-19, and Minerva is still operating with a reduced slaughter capacity in Brazil. The bigger news is that the footwear sector is pushing for an extension of the anti-dumping law on Chinese shoes, and also lobbying for a new one on those from Vietnam and Indonesia. And the duty on China is set to expire in the early part of 2021, so the sector is working to fix that. And so with that, that's all we have for this week for HideNet. Remember, our European report will be on hiatus for a little bit, and we'll have a mid-month report and then resume with the report dated for September. So until next week, good night from HideNet.